boys! Welcome back to a brand new video, and today we're actually going to be starting something kind of new, but it's also something we've done before in the past. And what that is we're going to be taking a look at really rare cars within the game. However, since you guys enjoy it so much, rather than doing this series randomly, we're going to start looking at the rarest cars of every week, since it does tend to change as new cars are released, and the festival updates and Forza re-releases cars that used to be rare and then they're no longer rare. So this week we have a good few to dive into. I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to get my hands on all of them, but you can be certain we're going to do our best to try. So let's go ahead. Oh my god. So let's go ahead and hop to the festival since I can't drive anyways. And what we're actually starting with is the brand new car that was added this week. It's the new Hot Wheels 2 Jet Z car. I personally haven't had a chance to try it out yet. I'm personally just not one to grind out the challenges or try to get it through the game. That's why I enjoy the auction house. I want someone else to do the work for me, and then I want to enjoy the car afterwards. But anyway, seeing as it just released this week, people are going to be trying to get this car. It's not going to be selling for a lot just yet. It hasn't risen in price, so people aren't incentivized to sell it. So it's kind of sitting for a little bit until it does start to hit that 10 to 20 million point, and then I'm sure a lot more people will begin to sell it. It's also not too hard to get. It's only a 20-point reward for this week, which means you only have to complete the festival, and then you can get your hands on it. But that being said, it would still be pretty hard to get if you're like me and trying to get it through the auction houses. Not too many people are going to be putting it up for sale just yet. Depending on when you're watching this video, perhaps there are flooding the auction house, but as of this time, they are not. I don't even think I'm going to be able to get it to show off for you guys. I did try for a little bit, but these are pretty hard to come by at this current point in time. So let's go ahead and take a look at our next car on the list. And this is actually a car that we've seen be pretty rare in the past. It's gone through many cycles of being hard to get. In fact, when it first dropped, you would be very hard pressed to find any of these cars, even if you came up for a couple hours. Auction house isn't loading for me right now, but as you can see here, I was able to get one to come up after not a whole lot of searching. It is still rare, but they're not never gonna come up because it is still holding a $10 million price point. Unless you're a legendary painter or tuner, then you can go ahead and sell it for 20 million. But since people think it might go up to that 20 million price point, most of them are holding on to it. It's a super nice car we're going to show off. And although this car has been released into the game pretty recently, it is still extremely rare because of the fact that people expect its price to go up for 20 million. It's not currently being released into the game. However, it has been released either 2 or 3 times, so there are a high number of them circling around out there. In fact, I have my hands on about 5 or 6 myself. I'm sure lots of you watching this video also have your hands on some, but it is still a very rare car, so let's go ahead and hop to the next one. Now, this next car seems to make our list almost every single time because it's just consistently stayed rare. In fact, when it was released into the game, it was a certain kind of event. You had to do it. I don't really know how to explain it. It was a super long time ago. So I do feel like Forza is gonna re-release this one soon. However, it has been forever, and these are incredibly hard to come by. And that car in question is the Honda Civic Coupe that I'm displaying here on screen. And the only thing that makes this car rare is the fact that it hasn't released in a super long time. So obviously people that got the game a bit after it released and want to collect every car are gonna have a hard time getting their hands on one because there's a very finite amount of these drifting around in Horizon 5. That being said, if your goal was just you thought it would be a good car or good for drifting or racing, it's really nothing special. It looks much like many of the other Honda Civics in the game. In fact, it might be one of the worst Honda Civics in the game in my personal opinion because it doesn't drift very well, it's not very fast, and it does not have the best handling. But that being said, it is still incredibly rare because of how long it's been since this car was added into the game. So if you do want to complete your collection, go ahead, get your hands on one. It might take you a little while. In fact, I might even label this one the rarest on our list this week, but chances are Forza's gonna re-release it soon because they have a tendency of doing that. So let's go ahead and get to the next vehicle on our list today. Now, this next car has also been very consistently rare for a long time now, and I'm going to explain why, but we haven't had it in our list in a little while because it hasn't been as rare as some other ones, but now it's been so long since this car was released, it's slowly making its way back up to that top spot. However, it was released like 4 or 5 times right at the start of this game, so there are a good amount floating around. However, what makes this car so incredibly rare is actually a combination of 2 things. The first one being, people really want to get their hands on this car because it has the second highest skill multiplier in the game, but in terms of like actually drivable cars, it has the highest skill multiplier because it has an 8. The PLP 50 has a 9 for whatever reason, but you can't really build up a good drift score with that. So for that reason, people really want to get their hands on it because it's good for building insane drift scores. However, Forza went ahead and locked this car at a very low paywall, I think around like $3 million. And it's been at that for quite a while now, so the people that do have this car, it's not really worth selling for them because frankly, $2 or $3 million isn't a lot for an insanely rare car. And the other reason they're not selling is there's no telling if Forza is going to release this car again. They did release it pretty recently within the past 2 months, so chances are they aren't going to, so this car will only get more rare, and people want to wait and see if its price is gonna go up. So a combination of all these things has made it one of the most sought after cars and rare cars in the current state of the game. But again, with any of these cars, I would not be surprised if Forza went ahead and released them in these next coming weeks or the next series, because there's no way of telling what Forza's ever gonna do because they kind of just fly by the seat of their pants. Anyways, boys, I'm certain I missed many cars on this list. It was not an exhaustive list of every rare car, just the ones that I came across and were thinking of for this week. So let me know in the comments below which ones I missed, and we'll make sure to include them on next week's episode. If you made it all the way through to the end, let me know with a comment or a heart down below, and I'll be sure to try and give you a heart. Anyways, boys, thank you so much for watching, and again, thank you for 1 million subscribers. It's unbelievable. As always, we'll see you boys in the next one. I'm out. Oh, peace.